the day has come. Plant 22 is here. Gonna load the planter up and start planting our first field of corn. Well, we got the planter filled up for the first time this year, and I'm going to raise up the center section. We lowered it down so it's easier to load the planter, and Dad's swapping out those 2 empty boxes and putting 2 new ones on there. Well, Nutrient just finished up spraying some Teflon here at the farm, so I'm going to go ahead and start working ground there. Dad's going to still wait a little bit, I think, to start planting on that field, because, well, he's really in no hurry because he's got no other field to go to after that 80. So I think he's gonna wait a little bit this morning, and I'm gonna start working ground. Chisel ground seems to be working up pretty good. I've got a buddy coming out. I'm gonna teach him how to run this thing, and then I can go get a load of beans and work on start planting this field. I'm approaching the headland. That's what that means. I wish Case IH would have done something different with the noises this monitor makes, but oh well. They could have made something a little more pleasant than just a loud screeching beep. So when I turn on the end here, I kind of swing to the left just a little bit, start turning. I'm bumping it up with my hydraulic lever. You can start to see the front of the sweeps when you're turning. Get back on your line, engage your guidance, drop it back down. Well, Jeff just got back with the load of beans, so I'm gonna back this planter out, load it up full of beans, and start planting. So as I'm getting set up, I'm priming the planter. I've got all the vacs running, the bulk fills on, and this might take a couple cycles. It's throwing seed underneath the units, so it failed, so I gotta do it again. I can see the seeds dropping underneath the planter. Gotta do it another time. It takes a few times on the first one of the year, because obviously it's got to get seed to every single unit, and everything was completely empty and cleaned out. So you probably got to do it 4 or 5 times before it actually works. It's taking an awful while for all the seed to get to the units. You can still hear them running. Got to fill up these little hoppers here. Takes a little bit to fill up. Well, I'm rolling right along. I did the end rows there on the east end. Now I'm making a pass on the south side, and I'm going to do the end rows here on the west end, and this little section here on the south side of the house will be trimmed out. Clayton's over there. He's running the field cultivator out in the middle. This field's kind of like a big L, so he's running north and south, and I'm running east and west right now. So all these black lines are every row unit, and the red line's where you want to be for population. And a couple of them are a little bit over, but it seems to be doing pretty darn good. So now that I made a couple of rounds here, I'm gonna hop out at the end and check on my overlap control. I would take you out there and show you, but it's very windy outside, and all you're gonna hear is wind noise and blowing around. So whenever I get to the end, I'm gonna get out, dig in the dirt, looking for the seed, and you can kind of see where the seed overlaps when you come to the headland, and make sure there's not a gap. A little overlap's okay with soybeans. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'll check whenever I was heading out when the units kicked on to see if it kicked on a little early, at the right time, or a little late, because you don't want it to kick on late, because then you're going to have little skips for every other through. So I'm going to go ahead and check that when I get to the end and make sure it's all okay. I wish I could be over there where Dad's planting corn and showing you what's going on over there, but I've only got one camera and I can't be in two spots at once. So I threw my marker out on that pass, and looks like the guidance is pretty dead on, so, and you can tell. It don't get much better than that. I'm gonna be needing to fill up with seed here in about 10 acres, I'd say. Hopefully I can get this little section right here done before I have to fill up, because otherwise I have to drive this thing all the way back here to the barn lot and get seed. Row number 16 wasn't planted, so I came back here and that was empty. So I wiggled the hose a little bit and the seed started flowing, so let's try it now and hopefully it'll work. See, it was blinking there and I had a alarm pop up, said it wasn't planting, and now it is. So seed must not have been flowing correctly. Maybe something was in the way, I don't know. Maybe not enough graphite, but it's working now. Well, I just refilled the planter. It's way too windy to even take my camera out there because you won't even be able to hear anything. It is very windy. Also, I'm still trying to figure out the seed tender. You can see the graphite all over my face. I'm still trying to figure out that seed tender. It's a lot different than our other one. The auger is so much longer, so when you shut the gates, there's just so many beans that still will come out of that auger. Our other one, you would just shut the gate, and then within a few seconds, the auger would empty out. But still learning. Dad's gonna be planting another field here soon. That field's almost worked. And I'm just gonna keep going back and forth. I'm starting to get that seed tender dialed in. There's a few gates and doors that were open pretty wide that I didn't know were really there. So made a few adjustments and it's really working good now. The wind's sure moving, about 20-mile-an-hour winds. I'm gonna be going with the wind heading north, so this tractor will need a good cleaning on the air filters after today. Yep, we're going right with the wind. Just got out and picked up a rock. It was pretty decent size. I sit on that platform right there in front of the don't know. Probably can't see it there on the right side. Yeah, you might be able to. Don't want to run that to the planter. Actually, don't want to run it to the combine this fall. Making the last pass here. My section control has the far left section off because we're overlapping. And we're getting ready to come up to the end. Fold her up and head to the next one. We'll set this here for now. She's looking good. Kill the vacs and the bulk fill, put them in float. Dad's turning around the seed tender. Gonna fill this planter up one more time for the night. Open the front, push it up. I can't tell. Priming the planter. You gotta prime it after you turn all the vacs and bulk fill off. Got the green check mark. So we're ready to plant now. Well, I'm making my last through here, and I'm ending on the opposite end, so imagine that. I'll have to fold up when I get to the end and drive back to the road. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feels good to be back in the planter. Also feels good that the first day of planting went very smooth. No breakdowns, no issues, nothing. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.